In today's video, we will be reviewing Jhanvi Kapoor's diet. I'm going to be rating this particular diet. When it comes to weight loss, I personally find this to be like a... Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for permanent weight loss without any fad diet or fancy gym. In today's video, we will be reviewing Jhanvi Kapoor's diet, and by the end of the video, you will know whether you can lose weight on her diet. So if this is of interest to you, let's dive in. So the video will go in two parts. One part will be where I kind of review it as she is talking about her entire schedule, whatever she eats. And second part is that I am going to be reviewing the entire diet in terms of its weight loss sustainability on my 5 parameters. So let's see what she does.
I have a spoon of ghee.
So her morning ritual is that she starts her day with a spoon of ghee. This is something that I think is a pretty good habit. It can actually help with insulin resistance. It can also help for a lot of people with better gut health. If you are not sure that whether you have insulin resistance or a poor gut health, I strongly recommend that you take my weights root cause quiz, and by the end of it, you will know what's the root cause that you need to work for. So now let's see what she eats for breakfast.
Parathas with dahi.
Okay, so in her breakfast, she mentions she has aloo paratha with dahi, and this is a good breakfast. But if you are someone who has it and still not getting the result, you're probably not optimizing the ratio of paratha to the dahi. In this particular video, I actually mentioned how you need to structure your meal if you're having Indian breakfast. The key is that whenever you're making a breakfast, especially paratha or dosa or something of that sort, it should not be very carb heavy. It should not be designed around one particular macro. So make sure you have a big bowl of dahi. Make sure you get a little bit of pickle. Make sure your parathas are stuffed. That's one of the ways of getting more vegetables, and thereby you have ticked all the boxes. So now let's see what she has for her lunch.
Lunch I'll have parathas with paneer makhni, dal makhni, bhindi, Gujarati dal, methi dal and palak paneer.
So in lunch, what I like about this is that she kind of changes the different types of lentil, pulse or dal, whatever you may call it. She keeps changing it, and it's very important because there are two things to understand when it comes to dal or lentil is that this is an incomplete protein. When we say protein, protein is formed of 20 essential amino acids, and they are kind of distributed unevenly through different plant produce. Therefore, when you include different variety of lentils or pulses in your diet, you are actually getting a lot more benefit. For example, say a masoor dal, which is rich in magnesium, phosphate and B1, is slightly different from something like chickpeas, from which hummus is made. Chickpeas is also known to be very anti-inflammatory. So you see, when you kind of diversify, you kind of get a different benefit. Second thing is, what I also noticed that she did include paneer, which is cottage cheese, and that also has its own benefits because it's another source of protein plus fat. However, I did notice that the only time she mentioned any kind of vegetable was palak paneer, which was spinach with the paneer, but she hasn't mentioned any kind of vegetable in the diet. And it's important that even if you're having paratha, and if that is the only type of thing you're having, or if you're having rice also, I really encourage putting in a lot of vegetables in that, just because you don't have to make another dish, but you still get the vegetables. So now let's see what she has for her dinner.
Dinner I like to keep it light, so I'll have red rice biryani.
Okay, she mentioned she has red rice biryani. Now, in my opinion, that I don't know what she said, that she's vegetarian, so I'm not even sure whether it's got non-vegetarian biryani or it's just rice and vegetables in it. In either case, I do like the idea of having rice for dinner because it usually aids the digestion, but that's generally with white rice. When you have red rice, it is a bit of complex carb, and therefore it does take more time to digest. However, if she is not having any other protein and she's just having rice and veggies, it's probably not such a bad idea. What I would have preferred in this would have been some curd or raita to go along with it, and I think in an obvious sense, like some other vegetable dishes are really missing. Now let's see what she does for her post-workout meal.
Now ragi sweet potato paratha is like a huge thing for me. I keep eating.
Okay, so she mentions she has ragi sweet potato roti. what I would prefer, I generally prefer having just sweet potato instead of making it into a paratha. Potato, whether normal or sweet potato, is highly satiating as a post-workout meal. But it should also include some amount of protein, which is completely missing right now, any form of vegetarian, non-vegetarian. Also, in a post-workout scene, depending on the kind of workout you do, I do recommend having a protein shake, because it's just that you have had a lot of work done on your muscles and they need a little bit of a boost, and therefore it is important. And those people who don't like to have the processed protein shake, even something like having sattu is quite helpful. So now, basis all that we have heard, I'm going to be rating this particular diet for a weight loss perspective. And this is done on 5 principles. One is the nutritional composition. Second, satiety. How satisfied would you be? What about the gut health? And is it something sustainable? And the overall calorie composition. When it comes to nutritional composition, she did not explicitly mention any vegetables. Also, the protein intake for the dinner becomes quite less, and there is no fruit also mentioned. On this point, I would probably give it a 0.5. When it comes to satiety, that is how satisfied will you be with this meal, it's really hard to be satisfied with the meal because it seems it's very carb heavy, except for her lunch, her dinner, her breakfast. And again, especially the dinner onwards, it's not something that seems like something somebody will be satisfied with very easily. And she does mention that she keeps eating the whole day, like her whole day is a continuous meal. So in such a situation, that it basically also indicates that you are not completely full or satisfied with the meal. However, she eats a lot of complex carbs, which also does keep you full, feeling fuller longer. So on a scale of 1, I would probably give it a 0.5. When it comes to the impact on gut health, this is a lot of complex food. For a lot of people, it's very hard to digest so much complex food, especially if you already have a precondition of gut health. And the other thing is that the only time she is having any kind of probiotic, which is like dahi, is with her breakfast. So overall, from a gut health perspective, I would again give this diet a 0.5. Now, when it comes to how sustainable this diet is, whatever she's eating, I think it's very, very sustainable, because these are home-cooked foods, these are nothing special, they just need a little more balancing, but overall it's something that I can see a lot of people having on a daily basis. So yeah, on a sustainability, it is proper one-on-one. When it comes to calorie composition, it's really hard to speak whether the person is having how much, but whatever she has mentioned, she has a lot of dal makhni, she has a lot of parathas. These are food that can be also high calorie composition. And therefore, for this kind of a diet, it's very easy to also overeat for many people. Therefore, I would put it again at 0.5. So at a total level, when it comes to weight loss, I personally find this to be like a 3 out of 5. There are merits to it, but this diet definitely lacks a lot of balance. And if you are looking to lose weight, you probably need to include a lot more balance, especially when it comes to macro optimization, because everybody's body structure is different. But on a diet like this, a lot of people can, even if they lose weight, can also become skinny fat. Basically, you become thin, but you have a tummy. So if you are interested in knowing what should you do for your permanent weight loss, do check out this quiz. You'll get your personalized root cause, but along with that, you will also get your plan of action and things you should eat, what the lifestyle changes you have to make, and also what supplements you should have. And if you are interested more, you can check out these 2 videos on Kareena Kapoor and Sara Ali Khan's diet review, and we will see you next week.